And welcome back, everybody. It's Humble and Fred Radio. You know, we've been broadcasting together into our 31st year, and of course, you know, we worked at a lot of big, iconic radio stations. But I think of most people in Toronto would agree that when they think of Humble and Fred, they think Toronto's hip hop and rap scene,
leading the urban community as we speak.
Yeah, I thank you. Urban community has acknowledged for quite some time that Humble and Fred, that's where it all began. Long before Drake, long before The Weeknd.
Yeah. We took our urban turn, I think, in 97.
Yeah, that's right. 97 was when we really blew up.
Yeah.
People said, hey, you got a...
hey.
They said, hey, you got that old guy from Brampton and that Jewish guy from Moose Jaw. That came together, and the history of the rap scene began.
Howie and the Fat Man.
And may I say... May I say that if you fellas didn't come along and really turn the culture,
speak the truth
in the direction in which you did,
where would we be today?
Where? That's the question.
These are the questions that need to be answered, and our guest today is going to help answer them. He is one of our friends from the scene. I mean, I don't want to say we're mentors, but he could say it.
Yeah.
Please welcome to our program. What you just heard was some of his music. It's called Wristwear, and the creator of that is Hollywoodsos. Everybody, why not SOS?
Thank you.
Hold on a second.
Thank you.
Hollywoodsos. No, yeah, that's what. See, it took me. You know what? As you know, I'm a hype man.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I'm a hype man. A lot of people don't know that. I'd spent a lot of my weekends hyping.
So,
when I like to hype.
When SOS, because you spell it Hollywood, SOS.
Right.
When SOS is just sort of part of our world, and then that's what you wanna. That's what you read when you see it.
Right.
So why do you choose that?
I think well, actually, it's a shortened nickname.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. What is your nickname?
my nickname was Sosa.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, from Scarface. There you go. So then, they just kind of shortened it, took the A off the end, and all my friends just started calling me Sos.
All right.
So it's just you know what I mean. But I do know that it's seen as SOS, and I think that's kind of it's kind of cool too, that the fact that you're kind of
it's a little bit odd.
You know what I mean?
A little a bit disruptive.
Yeah, but it reminds me of ABBA.
Oh, really?
Hey,
what in particular?
Didn't we agree?
Song SOS.
Didn't we agree we were not going to talk about ABBA during this interview?
Is that sending out an SOS?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I just thought
Mamma
ABBA.
mia, here I go
again. Mama. I know a little.
Yeah.
I'm getting excited.
Everyone pretends they hate ABBA, but I guarantee you, all
I
of
hate
us
ABBA.
Everybody kind of loves.
No,
you don't.
I know.
I hate ABBA.
But my point is, you say you hate. Okay, everyone hates ABBA, but you know all the words of their song.
You can't
Mamma
help.
mia. I have a question. So yes, for a while there, we rapped. I rapped under the name Doc Easy G. A lot of people don't know that.
Doc Easy G.
Yeah, just a long story. Okay. Right now, I'm going with the How Man. He's the Fred Man.
Okay.
Can I ask you a serious question?
Absolutely.
I didn't want to grind this happy interview to a halt right away.
Right.
But I listened to a little bit of the type of music, hip hop, rap.
Right.
The N-word.
The N-word.
I kind of want to talk about that because
Absolutely.
I don't know, it makes me, I'll listen to some songs that have that in it.
Right.
And or I'll hear it on the street. You know, someone will drive up beside you, and you hear their music blaring from the car. Mm-hmm. And how do you feel about that?
Okay, so it's...
And is that a fair question?
No, absolutely. Absolutely.
Did you guys think it was going to be like the fair... I think that's a fair question.
That's a really good question.
Because I think it scares... Pardon me? Is that okay to ask? Because I'll tell you, I think it scares some people away from the genre.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean... At the same point in time, we have to look at the genealogy, if you will, of hip-hop music and the fact that hip-hop is not really music. Hip-hop is a lifestyle. Rap is the music that was born out of hip-hop. And then you have subgenres and you go into breaking it down. Kind of like, rock, and then you have heavy metal and hardcore.
Well, we talked earlier about what is hip-hop.
Well,
right.
Yeah, what do you mean a lifestyle as opposed to a genre?
Hip-hop is a lifestyle. Hip-hop is made out of... hip-hop is not just rap music. Hip-hop is breaking, which is breakdancing. Hip hop is graffiti. Hip hop is DJing, and a couple other things. But when it started in New York in the Bronx, all of these things put together fit the criteria and lifestyle of a particular person, and it was called hip hop. You know what I mean? And then the music that came out of it, the soundtrack to it, if you will, was rap music. And it's extremely important to note that hip hop was created firstly by blacks and Latinos. And it was a reflection of the hard times that they were going through in that time, and it was their self-expression, something that was totally different from anything else that ever came. Mind you, these guys stopped using melody. It was just spoken word to a beat and whatnot. You know what I mean? So going back to your original question, the use of that word comes from you know what I mean, a street aspect, if you will. People who are not really defined.
Understood.
You know what I mean?
Now, I don't know enough about your music, and I'm being serious.
Yeah.
Do you choose, is it a choice? First of all, let me ask you, do you use it?
And you can ask my team. We actually did an interview a couple of days ago, and I've kind of committed to not using the word past this, like as the turn of this year, and that's because.
So that's my question. So you were using it
100% every single day.
So when you use it, is it in your music? I should say. I don't care about you do what you want to do. But in your music, is it a conscious choice when you're creating a song to insert it in certain places?
Well, see, and that's the reason I said about my everyday, is because my music is a reflection of my everyday.
Right.
The way that I talk on a regular day-to-day basis. I mean, yeah, it's a little jazzy and a little more energetic when it comes on a mic and whatnot. But at the same point in time, it's a reflection of who I am and how I live my life and the way that I talk. I try not to curse as much as possible, even that's like even from before. But that word is so ingrained into the black community and slang terms now. And I don't want it, because there's a bunch of us. Who are in the black community who are like, no, we don't like that word. That word was used as a derogatory term to our ancestors, and it's just like, why are we using it? Like, you know what I mean?
Well, I think that's the question for a lot of people. If it's such a bad word, why do you use it? And your decision not to use it was based on that?
My decision not to use it is because I've come to realize that, I don't know. I just don't want to refer to people like that. Like, right. You know what I mean? Like, because there's an aspect of self-hate, right? Because it's a derogatory term. But at the same point in time, it's a bit of a struggle because I come from, like, you know, hip-hop is in me. And hip-hop, you know, that's bad means that it's cool. Like, you dig what we've been flipping stuff for years. Right. So,
by the way, if you just tuned in, that's one of our friends, one of our crew now.
100%.
We have a crew. Hollywoodsos is here. Obviously, we're going to get into Humble and Fred and our battle with Drake, because that guy is seriously...
That got nasty. I heard about
seriously,
that one.
Things got a little weird with Fred and I and Drake, and we'll talk about your stuff with him.
And it just so happens our courtside tickets are right beside his, so that creates
wait,
problems.
Hold on. Are you guys serious?
Yeah.
No, we're not.
Okay.
We're comedians.
Oh, should have gone with that. Should have gone with that a little longer.
When he said courtside, I was just like, okay, no, this is.
We're very good at
Hey,
this.
we've got bank.
Yeah, we bank it out. Here's the thing you say about using that word. It's so ingrained, and I was thinking it's almost a sort of analogous to when comedians use the F word or swear versus not, because. Right. In my regular everyday talk, I'm talking to my boy Fred, I might say the F word, but when I do stand up, when I do jokes, sometimes I decide not to put it in because it's almost lazy. Do you know what I mean? It's like a lazy, but it's the rhythm of the lyric, right? It's the way it sounds. It sort of helps make it funnier, it seems, but
more impactful.
More impactful. Is that the same as that word? It almost feels like it's such a part of the way you speak that in the song you rap and it's there.
You know what? I can't say that I won't ever use the word again in a rap lyric, because now I think I want to be able to just be like, when you know what I'm talking about, like a specific type of person, that's a specific type of person I'm talking about. But at the same point in time, it's a very slippery slope and a fine line that you play, just because you have a bunch of people who I understand why they use the word, and I don't want to sit here and get down on somebody else for, you know, their choice to do what they're doing. You've just you pointed out stand-up comedy, and it's an art form to stand-up comedy, just like from what I've understanding of what I've seen. So there's a way that you go out and you do it. Dave Chappelle, as a leader in our community, in the black community, and just in the world, he did something amazing for just creative culture in general for now and many, many years to come last year when he did that stand-up that he did. And he did it so brash and so coarse and so in your face because he wanted to push the boundary of everybody saying you can't do this and you can't be expressive. So pushing it back to what I'm saying right now, I don't want to take away somebody's self-expression. I don't want to say because you're using this word and somebody might have a negative feeling toward it, because you have these many people who have a negative feeling toward it, but you have a lot of people who don't have a negative feeling toward it.
Doesn't it get down to this too? Like a rap song or hip hop song could be telling a story, and if that is part of the story, then it's okay. It's no different than a movie. If the word is used in a movie because you're telling a story and it's part of where you're going with it.
There's a very famous story, late 70s. You know, Richard Pryor at the time is, you know, a hero of mine, the biggest stand-up in the world, the Dave Chappelle of the time, let's say. And Dave Chappelle, by the way, is one of my favorites. You can't. Yeah. You can't be a fan without he's unbelievable. So the famous story about Pryor, used the N-word all the time, and then went to Africa for the first time. And he comes back and he proclaims, you know, he's not going to use that word anymore because he went to Africa and those people, that word didn't apply. And then he saw himself in those. You know, it's maybe not the greatest story, but it's true. He just came back and said, I'm not going to do this anymore.
Well, it gets back to what you're saying. It all depends on self-expression, and I guess you have to respect that.
Right.
Anyway, I just thought I'd bring that up. I mean,
might I ask a question?
Yeah, go right ahead.
Because you guys are comedians, right? And you do stand-up. So, you know how they say Kevin Hart is not funny?
I don't know who says that. I think
I've heard that from some top comedians, and maybe it might be like a dislike thing, but like maybe it's like the way. I just wanted to know from a comedian standpoint, just is it like in his delivery or the way that he does his thing?
I think he's brilliant. I do. I mean, I think as a technician, now you got part of that. We're both comics in a way. I actually do stand up.
Right.
And I can tell you, just from a guy that's a fan of the game, he's very good at it. Now, he's not everyone's. Not everyone thinks he's hilarious.
It's subjective. It's like asking somebody if they like a particular song. It's like some people like it, other people don't. I don't find Russell Peters that funny. And he's one of the most successful comics in the world.
I'm with you.
That's me.
Here's the thing. I don't think he's funny, but again, I can watch Russell and go, he's pretty good at that. Because there's a little trick to what he does. There's like anything else. When you're in it, you go, oh, I see how it's. I admire his ability to do that trick, but I don't think he's super funny.
I don't like Led Zeppelin.
Oh, okay.
And they're, massive worldwide. Yeah. So again, it's subjective. Something like that. I don't even know Kevin Hart's work, to be honest.
He's. Here's the thing about Kevin Hart. And same with Russell. You can't help but respect somebody that can put 70,000 people in a place, and Russell can do it around the globe, which is amazing to me. And Kevin Hart's a little bit like that.
Dion.
Yeah, Kevin Hart's a little bit like that. Kevin Hart's last special was recorded at the O, I think, in London. I mean, it's not very many people on the planet that can put bums in the seats like Kevin Hart can, like Russell Peters can.
Around the world.
Like Drake can. Let's get to that. Hollywoodsos is here. He's probably going to be opening for us one day. Maybe we'll go back and forth. We'll do headliner.
Honestly, that's all I'm trying to work up to right now is just to open up for Humble and Fred.
Yeah.
When you guys do this,
we co-headline.
When you guys do Saskatoon and Thunder Bay, I want nothing more.
Listen, my friend, I've done Saskatoon, not Thunder Bay.
Another thing I
get carried away.
I have to ask you about, and I don't want to sound like an old guy or whatever, but you have a facial tattoo.
I do.
Is that
I have one, and then I have two on the side, and then I have an umbrella underneath my chin.
But the one is above your eye.
Extremely visible.
Is that a big decision?
When I made this decision,
because it's there forever and in your face, so to speak.
I was going for trying out for something, and it just didn't really work out for me. And I really wanted this to happen at the time, you know what I mean? And I thought, in hindsight, it's probably the best thing that happened for me, because it's like it allowed me to stay in one place and focus on my work and whatnot, as far as like the artistry is concerned. But when it didn't happen, that I was like really pissed for like. I'm sorry, I don't know if I can.
Yeah, you can say piss.
Yeah,
you just can't say the F word.
Okay.
Or the other words like.
Okay.
So you can't say it.
So no, I was just like really butthurt about it. Can I say butthurt?
Yeah, you could say that.
Okay, cool.
Sometimes my butt
our
hurts.
butt hurts all
Yeah,
the
my
time.
butt hurts sometimes if I wipe too hard.
We eat the wrong thing.
Sorry about that. It's just true. I just got to speak the truth. Sometimes if I over-aggressively wipe, I'm like, oh, I didn't need to do that. My butt hurts
Now my butt hurts.
Okay.
So now,
You know what? He's cheap toilet paper.
Well, that's the thing is, because I bought. It's a long story.
Okay.
He doesn't buy Charmin.
Yeah, I'm not doing as well as him. My toilet paper is. My toilet paper is no good.
Sometimes his fingers go right through.
what if when
Wait
you,
a
like,
second. What do you mean
What?
sometimes? You're talking about sometimes.
Wait, that's not a regular thing.
I have a finger bidet right
sorry.
next to my toilet.
You want
finger
bidet.
bidet.
You can use it.
Stop it.
I got a finger bidet. That's how well I'm doing. That's right. Like, because that's for the poke throughs. Poke a through. You guys. Now the crew thinks.
What if
things
you had
have
a
got-
finger bidet in the bedroom?
Yes,
Anyway,
sir.
so-
you wanted a gig and it turned into a
And
facial tattoo.
it was yeah. I was really let down.
Yeah.
And what this actually
Butthurt.
means, this is a this is a Bible verse. And
What's it say above your left eye? I can't.
it's Romans 8:28, and that basically says all things work together for my good. So when I was really let down about it, and everything looked like it was going the opposite way, like I went out and got this, and it was probably like I love it, and I think it. Once you know what it is, you kind of understand like who I am as a person. Like
Yeah.
I'm just out there,
And you know, we're just saying, and we asked that as two guys that are combined, our ages are 125 years old. So there was a time in life where if you got a tattoo at all,
Yeah.
that might be an impediment to an advancement. But now, you know what? It's nothing like it would have been. Face tattoos are still that's still
yeah, it's a
Well,
nuance.
it's got to be a
It's
big
lot.
decision.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
It's a lot, and it's also basically you're sort of narrowing. I shouldn't say that. I was going to say something, but it's not true. I was going to say you narrow your opportunities, but you don't, because your opportunities are not going to be narrowed or held back by a
Absolutely.
Bible verse.
Probably not.
Yeah,
You know
not
when,
likely.
You know when I had that conversation kind of with myself because other people were saying it, is when I got the neck tattoo, because the neck tattoo you can't hide and it's kind of just there, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't
But-
that hurt getting a neck tattoo?
Yeah, that
Yeah.
kind of hurt.
Jeez.
That's a little bit. It is sensitive
Yeah.
spots.
No.
But when I got it and I said, you know what? Because I love business too, and you know what I mean. I have a couple entrepreneurial things that you know what I mean. I'm pursuing.
Would you like to
But-
buy some advertising time on the Humble and
Yeah.
Fred Show?
Is it? Wait a second. Did you get a Tim Hortons franchise? Because we can talk if you. Is that one of your things?
no, I-
Okay, it's fine. I'm just.
But
manager.
because of my businesses being in the music industry,
Right.
I like anybody who doesn't want to do business with me based on my tattoos is somebody I probably don't want to do
And
business
that's what
with
I'm saying.
anyway.
It's not like
In
you're applying
2020.
to
like,
CIBC
you know what I mean? So,
in their teller program.
Exactly. I'm not going to be Barack.
No, I get it.
No.
So, can we talk a little bit about? Is there an actual feud between you and Drake? Second question, follow up. Just answer both. Is he well thought of in the Toronto hip hop community?
I have absolutely no problems with Drake. I actually met him top of last year. He had he's so friggin' cool. He he had this after what was the club? One of the biggest clubs in Miami, probably number 2 club in the world or whatever. We went there, and then afterward, we went back to his a rental. Instead of getting a hotel, he had this rental home on Star Island. It was crazy. And then he had this little old lady cooking food, and it was all spread out at friggin' 4 a.m.
Yeah.
You dig what I'm saying? While you look over Star Island and the water and everything, and he's just the coolest guy in the world. I have
He's
no
just
problem
being Drake.
with him. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, that's
Imagine
kinda-
being
it's
able
something to see.
to
Honestly.
do that for your friends and colleagues. To be able to do something like that.
Oh, I
Honestly,
just I just know somebody who knows him. I don't want to sit
Oh,
here and
okay.
act
I'm
like me
sorry.
and him is-
I'm reading
Yeah.
the information out. It's Tory Lanez.
Yes, sir.
Tory's is taking shots at Drake.
Well, no, that was a couple
Who's
years
Tory
ago.
Lanez again?
Well, our friend Sauce is opening, Or you're on tour with Tory?
I'm opening for him late spring.
Okay.
Yeah. He's actually got a huge show coming up here in February.
But Tory and Drake got something going on?
They had a little something going on. I think it was about 2 years ago. But, you know, one of those, this town ain't big enough for the two of us.
You know, you
but,
think about
like, I think there's a mutual respect, and they love each other now. So that's water.
Does Tory have courtside?
Tory, we were at Game 5.
Oh, okay.
So we were at Game 5 last year when they should have won it, and then he didn't.
You think about what Drake has actually done for the city, and I say this with all respect. When he really has put, in a weird way, not put Toronto on the map, but put Toronto on the map in a musical sense that would not have happened without his sort of amount of fame, his star power.
You have to take into account that hip-hop music is the fastest-growing musical art form in the world.
Wow, okay.
Period. So, you know what I mean? With him doing that, and then us being like one of the, you know, emerging cities in the world, you know, fastest growing and stuff like that too, it kind of just makes sense that they're merged together.
Do you think he gets credit for that outside of this country? Because that's one thing that I find frustrating.
He's bigger outside of this country than he is here.
No, I know, but people really aware that he's Canadian? Because I notice that reference sometimes Celine or Bieber, you know?
That's a part of his lore, is that he's Canadian. It's a part
well, that's
of it.
good, because
100%.
often when they're referenced in the States, they never make that attachment.
I like the fact that he's, you know, almost the fact that we call it the Six.
Yeah. Yeah.
That seems to be a Drake. I mean,
That's
maybe
like
it came from other parts, but just little things.
No, he's the one who made it cool. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I noticed that with my kids who are now 25 and 22, but like 10 years ago, very into Drake.
Right.
And it gave it sort of made the city cool in a way in certain areas that it would not have been.
In the city or outside of the city?
In the city.
Oh, in the city.
And the fact that the kids were proud to be from the Six and
100%.
the Raptors and all this stuff. What a pleasure to have met you.
It's a pleasure to be here. I was a bit like, when I walked in, I didn't know what the premise would be, but
there's no premise.
You guys were so inviting, and I'm so thankful that you guys came and let me, you know, share the platform today.
Are you kidding me?
Get the man a lasagna.
Oh yeah, that's right. Why you
already?
Hang on a second. Vegetarian or meat?
Plant-based.
Plant-based. Sean.
Really?
All of our guests.
Amazing.
All of our guests get a beautiful lasagna.
Are you serious?
From Palma Pasta.
Yeah.
Our friends, Palma's
Are
Kitchen.
you for real? No, this is not just one of you guys' jokes, is it?
Oh, no, this isn't like the courtside.
Because I'm really going to
We're about to prove it.
We're about to prove.
And you can share it with,
with my
there
friends.
There it is. Beautiful Palma Pasta lasagna for our friend Hollywoodsos. There it is. Look at that. Beautiful. Don't forget Palma's Pasta, 4 locations, Palma's Kitchen.
He's making it.
Yeah, and you can see it on.
I'm not sure. I'm doing the Vanna White.
Yeah, he's doing a great job. You can see it on Twitch.
On Twitch.
That's nice. There's dinner.
That's dope. That's dope. There is dinner.
Yeah, there it is. That's good stuff.
So, guys.
Listen.
You can keep it. You don't have to hide it.
I think we all learned a lot. I think we learned that we have so much in common with our hip-hop roots and yours, and it's all...
It's the hip, the hop, the hippity-hop.
It's the hip hop, and you don't stop the rock, and then the bang-bang boogie, the up jumps the boogie to the rhythm of the boogie
there
to
you
beat.
Go. There you go. That's how you do it here on the Humble and Fred Show.
I could never do that.
Please continue. Honestly, when we come back, please continue rapping. Fred raps. Hey, team, thank you very much for coming in. Appreciate you guys. Team Sos. Don't forget, and for details on the world of all things Hollywoodsos, how do people do it?
It's ITS Hollywoodsos on everything. So that's Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Tell your grandmother to follow me on Facebook.
Yeah,
we have a great relationship.
She's dead.
You understand? We're the same age as your grandmother. Yeah.
I'm your grandfather.
That's right. When you're talking to grandparents.
Well, just in general, not you guys, grandparents. Yeah, like, you know.
Why do you got to play it like that? All of a sudden, for old people. All right, everyone, we got to take a break. We'll come back. It's Humble and Fred Radio, all around the world at humbleandfredradio.com.
Like a minotaur, and you can't get it what I get it for. That's why you call me up.